All right. Hello to everyone. I'm Daffy Duck, and I know this is probably going to be sounding kind of strange for some people, because I never really do videos on my channel that much, and it's not because I don't want to or anything like that. It's just I mean, when I originally started this channel, I wanted to post unsurprisingly Daffy Duck cartoons, but licensing issues from Warner Brothers kept me from doing so. So yeah, I kind of had no choice in the end. I mean, I did try to post one, but yeah, restriction and yeah. So, anyways, the reason why I'm uploading a video, anyways, is because this is also an apology video to a fellow user by the name of the Elite Battle Angel, and uh, what happened was, and I'm very sorry if he's watching the to if he's ever going to be watching this. But I I'm very sorry that I said some pretty offensive things to him, and what happened was I was on his reaction live video for Thor: Love and Thunder, the second trailer, and I was worried that I said some I mentioned I think I mentioned the nah, what am I saying? I did mention the woke agenda that Disney has been going through lately, and yeah, I kind of made him mad, and and sort of return, I got mad at him, and I just kept questioning him over and over and over again without realizing that I was just making him more and more angry, and yeah, I blurted some. And I said I blurted something out. I think I said, "Why are you reviewing this crap at all?" And and then replied, and I said something to him. It looks like you have no choice, and yeah, that was the last straw. And yeah, I got kicked out of his yeah, I think I got kicked out of his account. Yeah, so yeah, this whole thing isn't a big apology, and I guess to me, if I'm probably going to be talking about this, I should probably start at the beginning of my history of Marvel. One of the first Marvel movies that I ever watched as a kid, arguably the first Marvel movie that I watched and understood the plot, was the first Iron Man movie, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, the action was awesome. Robert Downey Jr.'s performances was phenomenal, and yeah, I had a lot of fun time with this movie, and so this thing kind of started for me where I would watch a Marvel movie over and over again, and and pre and I just watched Marvel movies for the action, not for the story or plot or anything. And yeah, they were fun. Little did I know it at the time, but the first Iron Man movie was trying to set up a cinematic universe, and the very first cinematic universe in history, and I got way more excited for it to come out. Um, and yeah, I pretty much enjoyed that as well. I mean, they were kind of formulaic, but I still thought they were fun. I mean, the characters were likable and endearing. The villain. I mean, the villains were a bit weak at first, but they got better as with each and every new phase that came out. And yeah, yeah, I had a lot of fun memories with it. But here's the thing: as the movies kept on going and going, my opinions mattered less because I was running out of things to say. Mostly because the movies themselves were running out of things to say. I mean, every single time one of these films came out, they just did the same thing over and over and over again. After a while, what are you supposed to say? Oh, this happened again, that happened again. Like, there's no variety. And with each and every passing new movie that came out, I got more and more bored because I just didn't have much energy left. What was I supposed to say to this brilliantly written but creatively empty franchise? And then we have the elephant in the room, which is the SJW age, if you prefer. Like the more and more Disney was catering to China, the more and more they were taking few risks with their movies. And what I mean by that is that characters in their movies, if female, can A, have no flaws, B, cannot be saved by a man, C, B, are not allowed to be defeated, and so on and so forth. And not only that, but people were starting to go again. The entire Yeah, I don't know if this was the studio or something else, but they started to turn more and more against white men. There, I said it. Edit, come at me. I'm a tough man. I can take criticism if I like. Um, and yeah, the more that this kept happening, the more I felt kind of insulted. I mean, I'm a white man, and I know I'm not evil. I mean, you have that incident last night, and yeah, I'm I'm just autistic, but it still doesn't make anything that I said to the user, to the YouTube user last night, or how I said it any less excusable, you or inexcusable. Uh, Regardless, that what Disney was doing kind of made me a bit kind of scared as well. And some of the actors who worked on Eternals came out saying that if you don't support this film, you're pretty much a, a bigot, a white supremacist, a raging misogynist, or all three. And I don't want to give money to that idea. The idea that someone can just keep putting out the exact same crap, but we're being forced to watch it anyway, or even too conditioned to even break from it. I mean, I have the luxury, and it is a great luxury, of being an innocent human being that doesn't have to watch movies every weekend. I only see movies that I feel like are worth talking about, whether good or bad. They can have some sort of relevance, that they can have have meaning, and something that we can all learn from. But honestly, I feel like I've gone on all I can with this series. It's just constant repeat with little to nothing added, except, wokeness. The point is, I want to push for more original and challenging material. I want to see creative people, I want to see directors and writers come out with their creative visions with little studio interference. I don't want to keep supporting this shit like Disney predicted that I would. As a matter of fact, the entire Hollywood industry has been going on and on lately about how their shitty woke projects haven't been making that much money. Not because they're shitty woke projects, but because there's something wrong with us. No, there's something wrong with you. You keep doing this same thing over and over and over again, and we need more risks and new stuff without a certain percentage of us being offended. But this series, for whatever reason, is just never affected. They always make tons and tons of money at the box office for some reason, regardless of what decisions people make. And I don't want to review. Bottom line, I just don't want to review these movies anymore. I feel like there's just nothing new left to review except more and more pandering, ring, and wokeness. But I also have a hobby. I always review these movies, even though, in my opinion, there's just nothing new left to review. And honestly, I am so convinced right now that this next MCU movie, Thor: Love and Thunder, is probably gonna. it's probably going to be the exact same goddamn formula that all of the other MCU movies have been, minus the entertaining quality or imaginative vision that recent Phase 4 movies that have been doing. That I can actually predict this movie without seeing it. Like, it is so tired and repetitive that I would have predicted the movie that I would have seen. That's pretty much how bad things have gotten for me at this point. I mean, it might be off by a detail or two, but I can tell you. Now, if any of you guys are watching this, you probably are saying to yourselves, and rightfully so, that doesn't seem very fair. You can't just judge a movie without actually seeing it. So, I guess look at this as an experiment to see if Disney can be so unimaginative and lazy and insulting, and yet we still keep for some reason falling for it. Seeing if the rats will ever make it out of the maze. And if you guys think I'm lying that I actually did go see this film, go ahead. It probably won't be the first time that anybody's judged me, but I get a feeling if we measure both our brain cells together, mine are going to be the exact same amount and yours are going to be less after seeing this movie. And the craziest thing is, I actually hope that I'm wrong. I honestly hope that I'm wrong about everything that I'm about to say. I hope that goddamn mouse in the CEO chair finally said, hey, let's give some variety, something new, something that they've never seen before. Let's finally treat our audience as if they're intelligent human beings. But my guess is this is probably what we're going to get. My guess is the movie's going to start out with some sort of flashback in the past, either the hero's childhood or the villain's backstory. And in my case, probably the hero's childhood because we see a montage in the first trailer of Thor going through some sort of training montage, I guess, which is unsurprising. Missing. And then it cuts to Thor's daily life journey, and apparently people apparently people have been saying that this is a midlife crisis movie, which I say, oh boy, looks like Thor's getting the Luke Skywalker treatment again. But hey, it was done. It was definitely done perfectly in Endgame. So I'm hoping that this one can follow through with that. So maybe he won't. Maybe they won't turn Thor into an asshole. And then we have Jane Foster, and yeah, I wasn't really the biggest fan of her in the Thor movies. I mean, not to say Natalie Portman wasn't giving a performance, but it still kind of felt Star Wars prequel trilogy performance. In other way, which was kind of bland to me. And but hey, based on the recent trailers, I'm hoping that I mean the chemistry between Thor and Jane seems better than the first two movies, but and I'm hoping that Marvel will at least make sure that Thor survives and have him and Jane be a power couple like what they did with Wanda and Vision and I think I think Black Widow and Bruce Banner, because I feel like there was chemistry between those two. Um, Only this time I'm hoping it lasts longer than a couple movies. Um, Anyways, Jane Foster. I read the. I think I heard about the comic story involved in it, and I was really amazed about how I enjoyed it. I mean, in the comics, I know Jane Foster was had cancer, and the Minor Hammer was calling to her, and thus she became female Thor, or Mighty Thor, if you prefer. And yeah, but based on the trailers, I feel like they're not gonna follow through with that story. My guess is that she was being secretly trained by Odin or another person who knows about the legend of Minor, and 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 you think that she's probably gonna have an interesting character, but mostly she's probably just gonna be there just to remind people of how much of a boss she is. Like she has no flaws. She's just able to fight really good, and yeah, I feel like she's probably gonna be constantly saving Thor's ass, which I mean could lead to some great comedy. But I mean, I love the hell out of the third Thor movie. So yeah, but if it keeps going on, I might get bored. Yeah, and then we have the villain, and one of the things I also appreciate about the MCU movies is that with each and every new phase, they make sure that they develop the villain more and more. I mean, I still think Thanos is the best one out of all of them that we've had, and but I mean, this villain from the trailers kind of. Oh, hold on, let me look him up. What's his name? Oh, she is. Foster is going the cancer treatment story. My apologies then. Okay, who is the? I guess the villain. Okay, I think his name is Gore the God Butcher. I mean, he looks scary, but I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Malekith from the second movie, in that he pretty much that he looks scary, but really doesn't have much of a character. So I'm not really buying him. And And we also gotta have returning cameo characters, and I think Guardians of the Galaxy are making a return, considering Thor left with them in Avengers Endgame. So I'm hoping they appear in more than just a couple scenes. Yeah, they're if anything, it definitely. I mean, the film itself definitely feels more like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, if anything. I just hope they don't. I just hope they don't appear as a cameo, and I'm just like, okay, they made their appearance, yay. I mean, And then and then we have plenty of moments where it leads to comedy that's funny, that's either not funny or funny. And then we have this big gigantic final battle at the end where a lot of crazy visuals happen. I'm hoping that this final battle is impressive at least. And fingers crossed that they don't kill Chris Hemsworth. And in the end, the characters will probably either go their separate ways or, at the very least, come together. And I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping Jane and Thor stay a power couple in this movie, and not have Jane just be a replacement for Thor. Or or um, and then we have a post-credit scene, which either leads to something really big, like a major character reveal or something, or it just leads to a funny scene where somebody does something weird. Um, um and Yeah, that's pretty much my opinion. So, what do you think? Was I close? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe Thor Love and Thunder is the one that's finally gonna break the mold. I mean, this is just my opinions. I don't expect you to listen to what I have to say. But we have with so many, many movie projects being so unimaginative, lazy, or even offensive, and not doing as well as the studios want them to do. Need I tell you this? You have the right to demand better. You have the right to say, if I'm going to be seeing something that I'm already familiar with, I can at least demand something new out of it. Okay. Hang on a second. I think my phone just contacted me about something. Okay, false alarm. Next we have the recent Spider-Man comics that have been coming out. I I didn't read much of those, but I think I followed through with the history on. But I followed through with the history on YouTube videos and such, and yeah, I was kind of shocked by some of the things that I saw. But I think I started reading them when I heard that they were gonna when Nick Spencer was recent one of the recent offers Nick Spencer was planning to do one more day, and yeah, I got way more interested. Hopefully, that this would be the one that would break the mold, also, and hopefully undo a very bad mistake. But in the end, he didn't, and if I had to guess, I'd say it's the studio because Marvel, I feel like, will never let go of Peter Parker as a loser. And yeah, and some of the recent comics prove that, like that he's never ready for what's come next. And this recent volume issue that I've been reading, which he's back to square one again, that doesn't really help me much. And yeah, and cherry on top, I'm just gonna be skinned alive and killed off. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. But I mean, the preview for it showed just her getting kidnapped by Maria X, who is an X-Men villain, by the way. And yeah, yeah. I think I'm. That's pretty much why I'm done reading Spider-Man books. I mean, it's just driving me nuts. So yeah. Bottom line is, I'm very sorry if I did some offensive things last night to the user Elite Battle Angel, and like I said before, I'm autistic, so I don't know how certain things work, but it still doesn't make what I said or how I said it any less hurtful. And I'm not a bad person. I'm just really pissed off and confused. And yeah, I I hope I hope that this video is understandable, and that's all.